Good evening, guests and fellow Toastmasters. A very warm welcome to meeting number 40 of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club. I am Toastmaster Yogita Upadhayay, your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. As a Sergeant at Arms, it's my duty to highlight some key points for the meeting. The meeting is blocked for 2 hours, also urging you to stay for the entire duration to get the maximum benefits out of it. Your video should be on and your audio should be off. And I request you to unmute yourself when you're called to speak or you need to speak. Regarding the topics of sex, religion, and politics, even though Toastmasters International does not put any restrictions on speaking on these topics, we at the Gabbys Toastmaster Club request all the role takers and the speakers to be mindful and responsible and abstain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. Our club mission is to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Let me now hand over the stage to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mita M. Shah. Mita Shah is a teacher by passion and profession with a focus of building a strong foundation through early childhood education for children. And she is also the president of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Mita, the stage is all yours.
Happy evening.
Happy evening.
I'm audible? Okay. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. That was our Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting, Toastmaster Yogita Upadhayay. Let's give a huge round of applause. Happy evening to family members of the Gabbys, guest Toastmasters and guests. On this note, I call upon open this meeting number 40 of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club to order. Since today is a special meeting of education session, so I may request guests to please give us your quick introduction of yourself, that is your name, profession, and how you came to know about the Gabbys on chat. Thank you, guests, so much for joining our Toastmasters meeting. Now, we have one announcement important. The club members are requested to nominate themselves for the upcoming club evaluation and table topic contest to be held on Wednesday, 2nd October 2024, hybrid from 9 a.m. Indian Standard Time onwards by filing the Google form on or before 21st September 2024. Now, the structure of today's meeting is as follows. Prepared speech along with the evaluation followed by education sessions on table topic of by distinguished Toastmasters Fatima Rizvi, National Champion of Public Speaking, Pakistan and World Third Place winner in the International Video Speech Contest 2024. I request all the members and guests to be present till the end to learn more from today's education session. Now, before I begin the meeting, let me introduce a very special person, the timer of today's meeting, who is from Chhattisgarh, an MBA with 3 years of work experience in HR as recruiter. He is also a Reiki practitioner and NLP certified. Currently, the secretary of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Shilpi Tiwari. Let's invite her with a huge round of applause. Let's begin.
Good evening,
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mita. Good evening, everyone, my dear fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. As timer, I will time all the speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluation. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote the specific times remaining. The speaker should So the table topic speaker should limit their remark no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise yellow, and at 2 minutes, I will raise red. And the other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes. So at 5 minutes, I will raise the green card, and at 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card, and at 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you so much. Back to you, ma'am.
Yes, today we have education session, so we will not be having a table topic. Okay. Okay. Now, let's begin with the first session of prepared speech. Today we have a speaker number 1, and the Toastmaster Nagendra Budala is the site security manager at Airbus Bengaluru. He is responsible security systems and physical security operations of the site. He is from Vizag, Andhra Pradesh. He holds a degree in electrical and electronics engineer. Now, his path is presentation mastery, level 2, project number 2, project name, effective body language. Project purposes, the purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. Timer, the speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes, and the speech title is Power of Empathy at Work. I request this one toast. I request the evaluator. Are you present?
Yeah. This is Lakshmi here. I'm here.
Yes. So the evaluator for Nagendra will be Toastmaster Lakshmi Sujatha. And the speech title, Nagendra, your speech title, Power of Empathy at Work. Power of Empathy at Work, Toastmaster Nagendra. The stage is yours. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. It's really a wonderful session, and thank you so much for giving the introduction. My dear fellow Toastmasters, I'm going to talk about a very sensitive topic, which is currently we are all facing the issues at the work culture and workplace. We have been hearing so many cases in the recent times where many people are struggling with the work stress, many people are struggling with the anxiety issues, many employees of corporates are facing anger issues, and especially the relation with them for them at home. So these are all different things what we are hearing at recent times. Really, I wanted to talk about this topic at this current scenario because of all these aspects which are have been happening in the past 1 or 2 years, especially after COVID issues. So the topic I wanted to talk about is empathy. So the empathy at workplace. Has any one of you heard this term empathy and what it is on a single line? Can anybody unmute and say what it is?
When you put yourself in the shoes of the person who is suffering, a step beyond sympathy.
Exactly, you're spot on. So when we talk about empathy, it's different from sympathy, right? You're not showing that oh, something has happened to this guy. Oh, it's okay. It's very pity. It's not sympathy. It is empathy. You're putting yourself in the shoes of other person and seeing the perspective from other person's shoes. So that's very important because we all understand at work, at home, in our personal lives. We all understand our parents. We all understand our spouse. We understand our kids because they are very close to us. They are very dear to us. So we always able to understand, how they are feeling and how they are coping up with the different things. But whereas when you come to the work, you would deal with different people. You communicate with various departments, people from different departments. You never know like what kind of situation where they are at and what kind of mindset they are coming to the office, especially when you are a team lead or when you are a team manager handling a different team members. You should definitely have this kind of a skill, which is empathy. Because I wanted to quote few examples from my own personal life. I'm security manager with 9 years of experience in the corporates from last decade. So I have been I faced two issues, especially when I was with the consulting firm where I was the project manager. I faced very unique situation where one of my project member, he was generally very sincere and he was very attentive to the timelines given to him, but somehow I observed him in over a period of 15 days or over a period of time of around 20 days. I observed him, he was constantly missing the timelines, and he was not able to communicate to the clients as he was able to before do before. Then I uh, I shouted at him one day, and I because I lost my patience because I was a project manager and I was the person who is responsible for answering the client. I shouted at him, and that guy did not say anything. That guy simply said okay, and he left the room. But after 2 days, I got to know that he was really handling a situation at his family, which is kind of a emergency kind of situation at his family. Because of his financial constraints, he was not taking leave, and he was simply coming to the work and attending to the office so that he'll not lose the salary of it. So once I got to know about this his situation, then I really felt sorry about that guy, because if I would have been in that situation, I would have shouted at me in reverse, or I would have behaved in a different way. But whereas that guy was very calm and he left the room. So then I understand that the importance of this empathy. I should have understand from him. I should have spoken to him, like what was happened, why we were lagging behind the timelines. I should have asked that, but I did not do that. But later point of time, I observed and I realized that it is very important to have that kind of a skill. The similar scenario, when again I was a security manager in my past organization. Before this, I was project manager. I was security manager in some other organization. Again, the same thing has happened, where one security shift lead, he was not, come over a period of 7 days. He was coming late to the duties. Then again, I realized that something is happening to him. Then I spoke to him in person, and I understood that he has some personal issues at his end. So then we have, as a team, we shifted his shift duties, and so that he can accommodate other personal aspects as well. So at current scenario, in current the culture at different organizations, especially the timelines we are getting in the organizations where the big fours, or you can say any consulting organizations, we should think in terms of human side as well. See, most of the time, since we are in consulting, we simply carry away with the timelines or targets that have been given. But now it is a time for all of us to think about the human aspect of it. We should think from the other person's perspective, that why it is happening, what should have what could have been happened. All these things we should think about it, and we have to act accordingly. So thinking about empathy and following empathy would help in different aspects. I can quote four examples. One is increased productivity. If you are a empathetic manager, definitely the productivity of the team will definitely increase, because they feel that my manager is really caring about me. It's not about the work, he is really have care towards me. So then the productivity of the employee also would increase. The second thing is the retention of employees. So when employees feel that they are feel safe and secure at the organization, then they definitely feel that the retention period of the employees will increase, for sure. Next one is increased leadership, enhanced leadership, because when you follow the method of skill, which is empathy, then you'll definitely become a good leader, because you'll not be a manager anymore. You'll become a leader once you follow or practice the skill of empathy. And of course the conflict resolution. So once you follow the empathy in your mindset, the conflicts will definitely will be reduced, because you understanding from the other person's perspective. So definitely it will increase the productivity, and it will reduce the conflicts. So with all these things, I would like to conclude saying the summary that let us all think in terms of human aspects to the work, and let us all follow the skill of empathy, because empathy is not only a soft skill, it is really a critical skill in the current scenario. So I would request all of you to follow this skill at your work as well as at the personal life. So with this, I would like to conclude. Thank you.
You are on mute, Mita ma'am.
Sorry. Let's give a huge round of applause for such a wonderful speech. Yes, this speech made us
Thank you,
to
ma'am.
understand what is empathy and gave a lot of input for us. It's a really great. You have given us a very good idea. Call for action. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite the second speaker. And our second speaker is Yogita Upadhyay. Yogita Upadhyay is a person to go with the flow and a joyful person. She's always been a people person, so enjoying her face as an HR and image and soft skill trainer. She's currently the Sergeant at Arms of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club. And the evaluator is present, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Are you present? Hello?
Yeah, he's there. He's there. But Sunil, you're not audible. Please check that.
Sunil Gupta, are you present?
He's there. Are you able to hear Sunil everything?
Yes.
All right, fine. He's there, ma'am. You can go ahead.
Okay, then. Okay. So Toastmaster Yogita Upadhyay is delivering her speech, Path Motivation Strategies, Level 1, Project number 3, Project name, Introduction to Vocal Variety, Project purpose. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. Speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes and the speech title is Epiphany. And the evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. The stage is yours. Okay. Toastmaster Yogita Upadhyay. Yogita Upadhyay, your speech is Epiphany, Toastmaster Yogita Upadhyay. The virtual stage is yours.
Have you all ever experienced a moment of epiphany in your life? It is that moment when reality hits you and you realize something truly life-changing is happening. Epiphany is that transformative experience that can turn around your life and alter the way you think. I also had one such moment of epiphany that completely changed my outlook towards life. A couple of months back, on Sunday evening, around 5 or 5:30 p.m., I was sitting in a lovely garden near my house, enjoying the cool breeze and cozy atmosphere. I had my earphones plugged in and I was listening to a beautiful piece of music and I was lost in my thoughts. There were many kids playing in the garden, and I was looking at them. Looking at their playfulness, I started reminiscing about my childhood days. While the kids were playing with a lot of innocence, their mothers were engaged in their own gossip session. One mother boasted, "You know what? My son won gold medal in 100 meters, 200 meters, and a 400-meter race. He's in a race at a sports event. He's so fast." Another one said, "You know what? My daughter has been coming first in her class for the past 2 years. She always scores 100 out of 100 in maths as well as science. She's so intelligent, you know that?" So, listening to that conversation, I thought that while these kids were playing around without any stress, soon their parents are going to rob them of their innocence and playfulness by pushing them to compete in the never ending rat race. Right next to me, there was a group of senior citizens, around 55 to 75-year-old, who were reminiscing about their views. Some of them had regrets. I heard them saying, "I wish I had chosen a different profession. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. I wish I had proposed to my crush." Listening to their regrets, I thought time is so fast. It flies by and waits for no one. Yogita, you're still young. You have time. Make sure you live your life to the fullest without any regrets. I immediately started jotting down what all I have to done and what all I have to do and start making a bucket list so that I don't have any regrets when I am on my deathbed. While I was preparing my bucket list, something caught my attention. A balloon seller entered the garden carrying various colorful balloons red, blue, green. And these were not ordinary balloons, these were helium filled balloons. When you release them, they rise up in the sky and eventually disappear, saying tada bye bye. To attract the attention of the kids, the balloon seller released one balloon in the air. Seeing the balloon go up so high, the kids got all excited and ran towards him. One boy asked, Uncle, will that red color balloon also fly in the air like this? And he released the red color balloon to show, see, beta, it does fly like this. Seeing another balloon fly, the kids were very excited. Then another kid went, Uncle, will that blue color balloon also fly? Of course it will. And then the seller did the same thing. Third boy, out of all curiosity, asked, Uncle, red, blue, green are all good colors. But will the black color fly? I don't like black color balloon. To which the balloon seller replied, Son, these balloons don't go up high in the sky because of their colors, but because of the helium gas inside them. It's not the colors of the balloon, but the material inside them is what makes them go so high. And then he released the black balloon and shoo goes the black balloon up in the air. That caught my attention. That one statement changed my life forever. It's not what is outside makes up. It got deeply etched in my mind. So true, isn't it? While we are all so much concerned about what we think about external appearances, our makeup should be good, our hair should be good, of course, these are some very, very important pointers. But the major points, are we not forgetting? We often forget that ultimately it's our inner qualities like attitude, skills, values, ethics, integrity, perseverance that gives us wings to fly high in life. Rather than worrying about the things which are beyond our control and cannot be changed, why don't we focus on cultivating the qualities that can help us to soar high in the sky? Just like a helium-filled balloon brings joy and happiness on every child's face. Let us all spread positivity around us to buy our inner qualities so that years from now, when we all are on our deathbed, we should be really proud of ourselves for living the lives as whosoever and whatsoever we wanted to be, moreover, like good human beings. Thank you, and over to you, TMOD. I'm sorry for the goof up.
Thank you so much, Yogita, Toastmaster Yogita. Such a wonderful speech. Lot of learning from your speech also. Thank you for the call of action for us. Now we have a third speaker, Toastmaster Medhavi. Are you present? Are you available?
Yes, I am.
Okay, the evaluator, Toastmaster Punith. Are you available?
Yes, ma'am. I'm available.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The Toastmaster Medhavi is a diverse academic background holding masters in economic and MBA in finance. She's a nature lover and hailing from Himachal. Currently, she's acting as a VP Education of Del Sukhi. And her path, her project path is visionary communication, level 2, project number 1. Project name is understanding your leadership style. Project purpose is the purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles. Speech duration timer, the speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes, and the speech title is Unveiling Leadership Styles Together. Toastmaster Medhavi, Unveiling Leadership Styles Together, Toastmaster Medhavi. The virtual stage is yours. Over to you.
Let's talk about leadership, shall we? When you think of a leader, what image pops into your mind? Maybe a general commanding their troops or a coach yelling from the sidelines. But let's be honest, there's no one size fits all approach to leadership. It's more like choosing your ice cream flavor at Baskin Robbins. So many options, and you hope you pick the right one. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I'm going to walk you through a few leadership styles. By the end of this speech, we'll find out which one fits me like a custom tailored suit, or in my case, like a comfy pair of slippers. The first one in the list is the coaching leader, or as I like to call it, the mentor. This leader is all about developing people. Imagine them as a personal trainer, except instead of yelling one more rep, they are saying, let's work on your personal growth. They believe in setting goals and working alongside you to achieve them. I had a boss once who was a classic coaching leader. Every task turned into a learning moment. What do you think would happen if we tried this approach? He would say. They were like the Bob Ross of leadership, always painting happy little trees on your career path. Except sometimes all I wanted to do was finish a report, and suddenly I was on a journey of self discovery. But every coin has two sides, right? So the pro of this leadership style was you grow under their guidance. Con, sometimes you just want to finish the task without turning it into a life lesson. The second in the list is the altruistic leader. This is the selfless leader who's all about serving others before themselves. It's like being led by Mother Teresa, always focused on making sure that the team is happy and well taken care of. The motto here is if you are happy, I am happy. I once worked with an altruistic leader who constantly asked, what do you need from me? How can I help? Do you want a snack? Okay, maybe the snack part not, but you get the idea, right? It got to the point where I thought I was in a luxury spa rather than an office. They would do anything to make sure you were supported, and sometimes even at the expense of their own time. Pro, you feel incredibly cared for and supported. Con, you start feeling guilty because you are the one being helped all the time. The third in the list is the democratic leader. Democracy, right? The leader who believes in shared decision making. This person is like a group project enthusiast. You know, the one who insists everyone gets to speak up and contribute ideas. They want everyone's voice to be heard and decisions are made by consensus. Now, this can be great in theory. Everyone feels valued and respected. But in practice, well, let's just say democracy can sometimes move as slow as a turtle on vacation. I worked with a democratic leader once who would ask the team's opinion on everything. Do we use blue or red pens? The leader would say. We would vote, have discussions, and by the time we would choose, the pens were out of stock. Pro, everyone feels involved and important. Con, you could end up spending more time debating than actually doing anything. So now coming to the interesting part. Medhavi, which leadership style suits you? Well, ending the suspense here, my leadership style is affiliative. What does that mean, you ask? Well, the affiliative leader focuses on building strong emotional bonds. It's all about harmony, trust, and positive relationships. Picture a leader who's like your favorite high school teacher, the one who always knew how to make you feel good about yourself, no matter what. There's something powerful about knowing your leader has your back and cares about you as a person and not just as a cog in the machine. I want to create a space where people feel comfortable, where they know they can share their ideas, fears, and dreams without judgment. And I'm glad to share with you all that I feel that I preserve or I show this leadership style by acting as a VP of Education for Del Sukhi Toastmasters Club. I make sure everyone's pathway and learning journey is being taken care of. So there you have it. Leadership, like life, like ice cream, is a mix of flavors. The coaching leader teaches, the altruistic leader serves, and the democratic leader listens. But for me, affiliative leadership is where I feel at home. It's all about building trust, creating harmony, and ensuring that people feel valued. Because at the end of the day, the best leaders are those who not only inspire action, but also inspire connection. And if we are not growing together as a team, then what are we doing? Thank you.
Let's give a huge round of applause for such a wonderful speech. Really, it was very wonderful. You took us to the leadership journey. So thank you for that. And now we have a next speaker number 4, Toastmasters, S Mohanty. Is she present, available? Is she present?
I'm here.
Yes. And evaluator is Anna Jurisova.
Yeah, I am here.
Yes, thank you. Okay, now Toastmaster Shilpi S Mohanty was a sales manager by profession and a certified soft skills trainer by interest. After almost a decade, she is now a full-time management student by the virtue of time. She is currently the Vice President membership of the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. Now, timer, can you just make sure all the speakers are within the time?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am, all the speakers are on the time. They are all qualified.
Thank you. Zoom master, just can you vote for the thing, best speaker?
Yeah, maybe we can start with the evaluation.
Evaluation. Yes. Now we have a first speaker. Evaluation is second session starts now. That is evaluation session for the speakers who has delivered the speech. Now evaluation session will start. So now I want yes. So second evaluator first. Speaker first evaluator is Lakshmi Sujatha. Toastmaster Lakshmi Sujatha. As a behavioral and leadership trainer, Lakshmi found her ikigai through her job with the Akshay Patra Foundation. She facilitates training programs across India that upskills and motivates the frontline workers of her organization. And to upskill herself, her only go-to place is Toastmasters. She's currently the secretary of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. And let's welcome with a huge round of applause Toastmaster Lakshmi Sujatha. The virtual stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Mita. Toastmaster Nagendra, you inspired me today. Ask me why. You inspired me to smile on the camera even before I got to start talking. Because when I looked at you, even before you were called up on stage, I saw a person standing there with so much confidence and a subtle smile on your face. That speaks a lot about yourself. And that is confidence, that subtle smile. Congratulations on that. Moving ahead, what else did I like about power of empathy at work. I must say, this was a very apt topic for the current situation that the lot of news that we've been hearing in the past couple of days related to the same thing. So kudos to you for being so mindful and choosing such a topic. I love the way you were being, you're trying to be interactive with the audience, because at the end of the day, audience is the king, right? And ensuring that they are with you is the key for any speaker. You ask them some questions in between, wanting to know what is empathy, right? That was a good point. And I think you can probably add one more question here or there just to increase the interaction. The third thing that I really liked was the natural flow of thoughts that you had throughout the speech. And I felt it was very genuine. Let me tell you why I felt it was very genuine. Now, this is also part of body language. You were constantly looking up, your eyes were up. And as part of the neuro-linguistic program, it is said that when you look up, that means you're trying to recall from your memory about something that has happened. So in a very subtle way, you were giving us a message that you are talking to us about an incident that has actually occurred to you. You were being genuine. And that showed up in the eye movement that you had. Now, coming to some areas of improvement. Now, as I said, body language is not just about body language, using your hands here and there. How does that body language come? It is because when you're fully connected to it, right? It is the emotions within you, either happiness, anger, sadness, whatever it is the actual emotions inside you that translates to body language and facial expression, and also your vocal variety. Now, this project was particularly for you to practice your body language, right? So I would suggest that you practice this a little more for the next speech. So you have met the purpose of the project, no problem. However, when you're delivering your next speech, whichever it is, I want you to little more consciously practice your body language. And how can you do it? By adding pauses in your speech. It was too continuous, what you were talking, that you didn't have time to show the body language, right? As much as you should have. Also, I think this was one of the crutch body language that you had constantly. You can be a little aware of it. And the eye movement, though you were kind of looking up too much. That also comes because you're trying to recall something, right? So practice helps you look at the camera better. So overall, I would say congratulations on completing this project. You can work on body language through practice and emotions. Congratulations.
Thank you, Toastmasters Lakshmi. Yeah, I'll really incorporate the feedback you provided.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi Sujatha. Such a wonderful evaluation. Next, we have a second evaluator, Toastmaster Punith C K. Are you present?
I'm Evaluator 3, but I'm available.
Next should be Sunil.
Okay, yes. Toastmaster Sunil, are you here? Toastmaster Sunil?
He's there, can be seen.
I think speaker.
Sunil is there, but. So in that case, Punith, you can continue. We'll have Evaluator 3 after the.
Yes, we can go ahead. Okay, 1 minute.
Achha, Sunil.
So we have a next third speaker evaluated by Toastmaster Punith C K. Punith is a non-fiction book enthusiast, a dedicated practitioner of David Allen's Getting Things Done method, and a prominent ExCom member at Toastmasters Indranagar Pride. Toastmaster Punith C K, the virtual stage is yours. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mita. Understanding different leadership style. For me, it's a kind of a complex topic, but the way you explained, it was comprehensive, concise, and clear. First of all, thank you for that. And I appreciate the clear structure in your speech. It has an intro where you explain what is expected, what you can expect from the speech. that too with the creativity, the ice cream. And you catch the attention with the questions. That question was, when you asked this question, that some imagination was running in my mind, how the leadership could look like. That was the good take in the intro. And the body as the clear, uniform, the structure. You had the brief introduction of each the leadership style, then you explain pros and cons, then you move on to the next leadership styles. It was good. And the conclusion had a summary and you ended with a quote. The overall, it has a clear structure and easy to follow. The next, the unique thing that I observed in your speech is, many a time I heard the speeches where they talk about the different leadership styles, where they talk about past experience. In your speech, you explain, you added how you are going to implement in your in the future by taking the VP education's role. That was the unique thing that I observed in your speech, and that is good. And overall, your spoke in your speech, the spoken words were clear, good hand gestures, and content was clear. And I was able to understand the different styles of leadership and your own leadership style. For your speech, I'm going to add two recommendations. The first one is, uh, it was clear and concise. To make it more engaging, you can build some curiosity. It can be with the simple act, like restructuring your speech. Like, you stated the leadership style first, then you explained it. Can we reverse it? The first explain the leadership style, then what is this leadership styles? Or you share your personal story, then ask audience what kind of a leadership style he is. It could have created a curiosity. The second one, whenever the audience they listen to the speeches, they always look for what is in it for me, the takeaways. So in your speech, you mentioned, let's discover what is your leadership style. Instead of that, you can say, let's discover what are different unique styles we have, and how do we pick our own the style. I'm The point is to tell audience what you get out of this speech. I think you can add this uh, part in your speech. Apart from this, for me, it's a good refreshment for me to understand the different leadership style. Then VP education is the one role where it made me learn a lot. All the best for that role, and thank you. And looking forward to listen to more speeches. Thank you, and over to Toastmaster of the day.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our second, evaluator, Toastmaster, Punith C K. Now, next, we have Sunil Gupta.
Yes, I am there.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, Sunil Gupta is a working professional associated with the PSU as a senior manager, a senior engineer, very enthusiastic about learning new things to evolve myself, as an ardent passion for playing cricket and speaking in English, and strong believer in simplicity, integrity, and hard working. The virtual stage is yours. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Yogita. What an amazing and eloquent speech. What a title, Epiphany. Quite unique. And it made me get excited and curious to know what you realized and when. The opening was perfect to engage the audience. You asked a question that, have you ever experienced an epiphany moment in your life? It was good. I loved your all three stories. Two mothers conversation, senior citizen, and then balloon seller. You showed an excitement expression when both mothers talking to each other about their children's abilities. And I liked your hand gestures when you started jotting down your do's and don'ts and your wishes after listening to the senior citizen talking to each other. These are the nuances of body language. When you up your hand and showed that noting down the wishes. And it was also interesting when you talked about colorful balloons, and you showed how the black balloon went in the air and exhibited that how you learned 3 or 4 inequalities, that inequalities are very important than external appearance. It was good. You showed body language, but I noticed that some of your hand gestures were hiding. So it was about camera position, you take care of it. And another thing is that when you talked about first mother, that time you didn't move from your position. About talking about second mother, you moved to your position, but in about first mother, you didn't change your position. And body language was okay, but sorry, however, if you could use vocal variety, like sometimes you are excited or you learn something from balloon wala senior citizen, and so you should could have shown that excitement, you could have changed your tone. Your tone was tone and pace was steady, like sometimes it felt me that it was a kind of story is going on. So when you use dialogues, you could you could have changed your tone. Otherwise, it was a good speech. And if you use vocal variety, tone, it could have been more better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, to evaluator Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Let's give a huge round of applause. Now, next we have a speaker, fourth evaluator, Anna Jurisova. Are you here, available?
I am here and ready.
Yes, thank you. So, she is the area director, B3, Slovakia, president of Toastmasters, Bratislava. She is with Toastmasters around 15 years. Over to you, the virtual stage is yours.
Oh, thank you for this relatable introduction. It's a great honor to evaluate specifically this speech because it's very relatable. As an area director, I had a similar experience to our speaker, which was also the danger when delivering evaluation because it might not be relatable to the whole audience. And this is a project from the PAD Visionary Communication, level 5, and it's a first project where speaker should introduce the vision and how she arrived to that vision to present it to the audience. I think it was accomplished, but a beautiful vision for a team Wolverine. I really enjoyed it. I will be evaluating several points of the speech. I will focus a little bit on the body language because it was really exciting. It was maybe even rehearsed in front of the mirror. I don't know, or maybe it's just because of high level of the speeches. I could see the gestures, the smile, and also a lot of humor I could hear in the voice because I consider voice projection part of the body language. Not everybody does. And this is something that I really enjoy about the speech, the enthusiasm and the Wolverines, and everybody should get involved. And there was also the humor. Then I noticed several interesting expressions. I am not judging, but I would say you are. We all are judging that this club only has 8 members, and there maybe something should change. I exactly have such a club in my area, the one I am president of. It was once club of over 40, 150 members at some point, and now there is 8 of us left who know each other. So I know exactly what the speaker was talking about. However, what I would give as a feedback, not everybody has this experience, so I would make it relatable also to people outside of Toastmaster, how to grow and develop a non-profit. I would add this example, or even to make an impact, because that's the last part of my evaluation. But how could we improve the impact of the speech? How can we develop the non-profit to make it better? Or even from the vision for the next speech, why do we need new perspectives even? Why do we need new people to criticize us? How to increase the impact of the speech? That would be my recommendation. Just 2 of them, to make it relatable to people outside of the Toastmasters. Maybe sometimes we should change jobs, get new people when appropriate. And then to make it more impactful, but giving specific examples. I was cooking my soup just in one way, and then I discovered I can do it different way because of the new perspective. That would be my recommendation. I really enjoyed the whole concept and the enthusiasm, and I am sure in the next speech we will hear the progress on the Wolverine team. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much to our evaluator, Jurisova. Let's give a huge round of applause to all the evaluators. What a wonderful evaluation from each one of us. Now, the Zoom master, please, timer. Timer, can we know that all the evaluator was within the time?
Okay, so 2 evaluators are disqualified. Toastmaster Lakshmi and Toastmaster Sunil. The rest 2, Toastmaster Punith and Toastmaster Anna, qualified.
Okay. So let's have a polling, and all the members are requested to choose your best speaker and the best evaluator. Yes.
Polls are launched. Please.
Yes, please vote for your best. Next, we'll have a break of 5 minutes, or we'll continue the education.
No, we will continue, Mita ma'am.
Yes, we'll. Okay, now speakers poll. Are you?
Now we just have to go to the education session. All the speeches have been done.
Speaker, for voting?
Yeah, voting. I'm doing the voting.
Okay, no problem. Now, we have a very good time now. Let's have a 1 minute. Okay, now we have a third session. That is, we finished prepared speech, we finished evaluation, and now a very important, a very special, now we have a today education session. And that education session is taken by our distinguished Toastmasters Club. It's a very important, that is table topic, regarding the table topic, and everywhere, each and every corner, we have the table topic contest is over to us and then forthcoming. So for that, we have such a wonderful speaker, education speaker, who is going to take us in the journey of table topic. So now we have a distinguished Toastmaster, Iram Fatima Rizvi, is an accomplished professional with over 15 years of experience in business management and development, having worked with renowned companies like Microsoft, IBM, Cisco, and APC. She co-founded Fix on Click and served as its Chief Marketing Officer, a two-time National Public Speaking Champion, 2023 and 2024, and winner of 58 awards across 5 countries. And she's a triple path breaker in Toastmaster. Passionate about youth and women empowerment. She frequently delivers keynote speeches and appears on TV channels. Aram's adventurous spirit has led her to skydive, bungee jump, and zip line in multiple countries, showcasing her fearless approach to life. Wow, what a so much wonderful things. I can't even imagine. My God, mind blowing. So let's all be present till the end. Nobody will move out and let us take all a lot of learning from our DTM Iram Rizvi. The stage is yours. Over to you. Let's give a huge round of applause.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, TMOD. Such a pleasure to get that introduction, which I sent to you. So, but I like the way how you presented. Am I clearly audible? Making sense?
Little low, I think your volume is little. You can
Little low volume. You want me to speak higher? Is that better? All right. One help I would need is that I would love to see most of you on videos. However, if we find each other breaking, then just switch off your video for a while to support. But I want to see you because this is going to get interactive. So thank you very much, Miss Timer. I need your help. You're going to give me green light at 30 minutes, and every 5 minutes later, you're going to switch the light. And we have a Q&A in the end after when you show me the. All right, ma'am, timer.
Done.
A shot. So I'm going to go further. And first of all, I want you all to tell me whether you have your video on or off. But tell me, what do you find most challenging about table topics? You can raise your hand. You can unmute yourself. What do you find most challenging about table topics?
The starting,
Toastmaster Diana?
Finding a story.
Finding a story. Brilliant. Toastmaster Diana, your hand was raised. Toastmaster Vankat?
Yeah, it's about the structuring your speech. I mean, the table topic is also a mini speech where you have this title, body, and conclusion, and also the giving the message and interacting with the audience. So all of them.
Thank you. So very right to have a structure of opening, body, closing, summarizing. Toastmaster Sanjeev is saying that to come out with best idea on spot. I like your smile with speech better. Oh, that's lovely. I'll take it for myself, even though it's a couple of minutes before. Toastmaster Akshata, what is your take? What do you find challenging in table topics?
There's so many questions about which you don't think of. So, you literally need to have some time to recollect things from your life, to, actually structure a story.
Time management.
So it takes time.
Yes, so you do not have enough time to speak on that topic. Very good. Toastmaster Jaya, what's your challenge?
How to speak in less time, to how to think quickly on the spot the moment you see a tricky phrase or statement, and how to make it humorous.
Correct.
So these three
All
things.
right.
Four things.
Okay, great. So Toastmaster Sudhir, what is your challenge?
Yeah, my challenge is they don't give time at all before structuring my speech.
Okay. Okay, again, it is time. So there is a repeated statement of time. And I'll take the last one, please. I love the interaction. Toastmaster Martina, what's your challenge?
No, I would say to choose one topic that is connected to the story, but as the stress level rises, then the topic tends to go away. Yeah, so just to be on the
I understand,
topic.
yes. So that it connects to the topic. Very nice. Toastmaster Diana has said, might change that table topics with me, says to come out with something to talk for a minute, to have that much of content. Guess what? I have a secret formula to answer all of your troubles and challenges. The key is you have to practice. Whatever I say today will not work till you practice. For example, if I tell you that you pick up a 5 kg weight every single day and use it overall for your biceps, if I say this to you, will you get muscles? I wish it happened. It wouldn't. It will only happen when you do it yourself, when you practice it yourself, when you hit the gym every single day. Otherwise, as much as a trainer would speak, as much as somebody would give you motivation, no change would happen. So guess what? I'm going to go ahead sharing a couple of things with you, which are my personal observation, my personal formula, and that has been working great. Oh, and you're most welcome to use the chat for quick interaction. How many seconds do we have to make the first impression?
Seven seconds.
Interact? 7 seconds. Very good. This means you are on the news. By the way, 5 years ago, can you hear me well?
Yes.
Is my video fine?
There is something network problem at your end. If it can be corrected, that would be great, because the voice and video is not syncing.
Okay, just give me half a minute. I'm changing my.
Meanwhile, she comes back. We have the poll results that were conducted 10 minutes back.
We'll have it at the end.
Yeah, I've sent it on your chat.
Sure.
Yeah. Zoom
All
chat.
right, slide test. How is it looking right now?
Voice is great. Once you switch on the
Great.
camera, we'll come to.
Can you see me now?
Not exactly.
No, my video is not
Now,
coming, or is it
now,
halted?
now, yes. Can we please spotlight
All
her
right.
so we come to them better?
Zoom can surprise us in ways.
Now it's perfect.
I call it my in-laws. You go well with it, it will still surprise you. That's the beauty of Zoom. So how much I practice. I had so many calls today, nothing happened, and it would happen on education session where it is recorded. So thank you so much for helping me there, because it was the beginning. So I was asking the question about how much time do we have to put first impression? And by the way, 5 years ago, when I started this journey, it was actually 30 seconds. Because we would have, remember those elevator pitches, all school people, even though I'm young. So, those elevator pitch, we would have 30 seconds to put an impact. But as we got into online world, COVID came, lot of social media, it got down to 10 seconds, and now it is 7 seconds. which means we have just 7 seconds of speaking or the first impression time that we have to put the first mark. So it's not that people are going to judge you on the 7 seconds. In the first 7 seconds, you need to do something that hooks up, that stops the people to that, okay, let me go ahead more. Let me focus a little bit more. So you just have 7 seconds to do that. Secondly, an average human attention span is shorter than a goldfish. For the goldfish, it's 9. For us, it is 8. If something is not loading, we immediately swap. We go ahead on the next reel. If it is stopping, we will go ahead on the next reel. We can only hold on for 8 seconds, which means if you do not speak good content or do good in your speech for 8 to 10 seconds, you lose the focus of the audience. And you know, there are times when some speeches are going on and you would realize that I got lost. You wanted to focus, but you couldn't focus because the speaker lost that engagement of getting the focus of audience. So we have to make sure that in that 1 minute of table topic speech that we do, we have every few seconds a hook that comes up. Moreover, do not be surprised. 75% people have public fear or speaking in or fear of speaking in public. 75% of people in the world would have it at least few times in their life. So this is nothing that is happening to you. It has happened to me. It happens to everyone. And we all have our way to cope that mechanism. Whenever Tony Robbins would go on the stage, and I remember his early days training when he used to go for with that 500, 600 mark of people out there, he would jump on the trampoline. That was his way to, you know, so that when he reaches to the stage, he has that energy, he has that pump up, because otherwise if he directly walks up to the stage, it takes him a while to adjust with the audience. So he worked up his coping mechanism. There are other trainers who would actually look at themselves in the mirror, speak to themselves, that, you know, pump up themselves. There was one trainer I remember who used to have the punching bag, and he would punch that bag before going to the stage. So we all have our mechanism, and I'm not asking you to jump when you get the topic or start punching the table topics master or contest chair. The idea is that you need to figure out what your mechanism is. If it is just to walk around alone, if it is just to take few breaths, if it is to laugh, because you will be in an isolated area, or before you go on, even on the table topics generally, there will be a while before getting into the meeting. Do that with yourself. Imagine yourself doing that. If thinking of your family calms you down, just when you're walking towards the stage, start thinking about your family. So anything that makes you calm down, get into the focus, look out for that. That is your responsibility. And moreover, our mind works faster than the words that we speak. On an average, if your English is on an average level and you can express well, you would speak 125 to 150 words, but your mind is actually processing 400 to 600 words per minute. This is why we feel that I did not speak enough. Too many thoughts are coming. I cannot filter it down. So it's absolutely normal. This is exactly how a human brain works. The idea is to slow down your brain, or ask your brain that out of these 400, 500 words, this is the part that I want to focus on, and you start ignoring and filtering the other words. So let's go ahead right now. So what I do is that I have 3 tips for you when attempting the table topics, and I have dissected that. So there are a lot of things that we could do, which includes confidence, body language, and all of those things. But let me get very specific with table topic. So I created this formula. It is called preparation, and everything could be learned. I'm a sincere believer of skill can beat talent any single day. And I realized that on my very first time when I reached to division contest. For area contest, I did preparation like anything. I would do a lot of things that I will tell you in this session right now. And I would be on my toes, attempting, you know, a lot of topics, asking my kids to throw a topic at me, asking my driver to throw a topic at me. You know, I would be preparing. And in my area contest, where it was really tough to win, I got first prize. And that was just my 3rd month of being a Toastmaster. But by the time I went to division, I was overconfident. I believed that I know the formula. I know how it works. I'm talented. And do you know what position I came on? I was last. I was actually last. And I don't need to get the judging sheet for that. I can judge that when I saw everybody's speech later. It was so bad. I had so many thoughts in my head. I had so many things to say. And just because I did not practice, that day, skill beat talent. So those table topics is something you can always ace. You can always practice, but you really need to keep doing that and take efforts to have as many practices as possible. So prep is the first key. Whenever you get a topic, see if it falls in this category. And prep means P for point, R for reason, E for example or explanation, and P again for point. So if I give you an example around that, for example, is it better to work from home or in an office? So what are you going to do first? You're going to state your opinion, yes or no, this or that. Second, on R, you're going to give a reason for your choice. Third is an example that why is this your reason? What did you do that it resonates with you? And P, you come back to your opening point, slightly summarizing and saying it more confidently. So is it better to work from home or in an office? Point. I believe working from home is better. Slight sentences around that. 2, reason. It provides flexibility and improves work-life balance. 3, example. When I started working remotely, I found I could manage my time more efficiently while still maintaining my productivity, give time to my family along wherever it is required, and spend more time organizing, researching, and have all those kind of luxuries of, staying at home, getting served, being not wasting my time on the road. So go on and on and on around that. And then again, come back to point. So all in all, working from home offers benefit that outweighs the challenges. So if I have an option to work from home or from office, I would select home. What do you think of that? So prep would always come into the picture where questions are such that should students have shorter school hours? Do you believe social media is a positive influence on society? So, questions where you can see that they're opinion based, that you have to give an opinion. There you're going to bring prep. You're going to answer that question, P. You're going to give reason. You're going to give an example. And you're going to come back to P, summarizing it and doing it more confidently. So I'm going to throw right now an activity for you all. And we are going to take 2 minutes to do that. So my question to all of you is, and have that paper pen ready with you, write it down, and you can raise your hand that you have finished it. I will randomly select anybody. You do not have to speak for 1 minute. You just have to give me an idea that point, reason, example, point. So you could just give one sentence for each so that I know that you have reached to that topic. So the reason I'm giving you a longer time is I want you to design it, practice it. Otherwise, you're not going to get that long time, of course. So the question for you is, should we ban plastic bottles? Your time starts now. Should we ban plastic bottles? Point, reason, example, point. Should we ban plastic bottles? You can raise your hand if you have done. If I see majority, I'll shorten up the time. Should we ban plastic bottles? Great. Let me see a few more. Point, should we ban plastic bottles? Reason, example, come back to point. God bless you, Sergeant at Arms. All right, let me get just few more, 2-3 more hands. 2 more hands. So how you would go ahead with that is you're going to go to AI anywhere, go to 360. We have one of the pages that has 360 table topics and attempt out from there on this formula. Attempt it out. So read the topic and write down. And you will see that when you write down, you get into a good flow of point, reason, example, and prep. And once you write it down and then close it, repeat the topic and then say it in front of the mirror. So that is the way you practice the opinion-based answers. So this will have your thoughts collected and you will get an idea of how to respond to it. So I'm going to start with Toastmaster Venkat. Very quickly.
Yes.
Very quick. So tell me, the question is, should we ban plastic bottles?
Yes. We should ban the plastic bottles because it's going to take a toll on our environment. And because the example is the oceans are filled with the bottles, and we can see that a lot of fishes were being impacted by the plastic. And when the human eats that, like that also might going to impact the human as well. It causes the cancer. So again, my point is that plastic bottles should be banned.
Kudos. Very good. Very good. And you did it within 30-40 seconds, which means that we get an idea. And of course, each point you're going to go further 10 seconds. The reasoning and the example is going to go longer. So your 1 minute is anyways going to be done by the time you're on the reason or example. So you don't have to worry about 1 minute when you go through the prep model. I'm going to right now ask the Toastmaster Jasprit. Give me an idea of what did you write? Should we ban plastic bottles?
Okay, so very briefly, I had just written according to PREP. So one is, yes, they should be banned. So talking about that. Then reason is causing harm, one to the environment, or simple, when you're sipping through a plastic bottle, then also it is causing harm. Talking about that, probably giving an example from something that would come, because we have a lot of examples. So support it with an example. And then again, the point that yes, they should be banned, but we need to have alternatives. So whether a glass bottle or something, with that, I would want to re-emphasize the point.
Very nice. What Toastmaster Jasprit is going to do, she said there are a lot of examples. So I'm going to rephrase what she has said. She's going to probably bring up one of the incidents, like using it when children use it, they take it to school, something of that sort. She's also going to give a reason and some solution that instead of that, what should they use? It's easier, it's cheaper, it's economical, and then close it. So you can pick up one part of that bigger issue. You don't exactly have to go around talking on plastic bottles. It's harmful because then there is a lot of content. You can do that. You can actually do that. But ideally, the table topic speech that would stand out is the one that focuses on a point. But your aim is to talk on the topic as much as possible. So you can always take it to the level 2 that, pick up one niche of that topic. I'm going to give one more speaker a chance. Toastmaster Megha, would you share, please?
Yes, I'll go to
ban plastic bottles. Yes.
Yes, we should ban plastic bottles because it is a danger and a sign of scare to the environment, to the greenery, to the animals, and to us also. And the recent example that I'll be giving you is that I have recently turned vegan, not because of ethics, but because of the milk that I was, consuming, and I was diagnosed with something chemical imbalances that was causing me an autoimmune diseases. So that took a toll on my health, and I was discovering that what is actually happening to me. I first went on to becoming gluten free. Then I stopped the dairy. And then when it was diagnosed that it is because of dairy, and then I thought, yes, the cows are consuming so much of plastic, and that is taking a toll on me, and that has caused, these chemical imbalances, and I am on the brink of getting this autoimmune diseases. So yes, we should ban plastic bottles.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Toastmaster Megha brought her own personal example. So she immediately started talking about how a plastic bottle case has affected her in her life. And that's brilliant, by the way, very nicely done. So this is how the prep model is going to work. And we are going to summarize this later and probably give you 1 or 2 topics in the end again to try it out. But please take up lots of topics. Write prep and practice them by writing. Even if you do 15 to 20 topics in this practice, you will get the idea of how to handle the opinion-based question when it comes in the table topics contest, or even if in your normal table topics segment. So I'm going to now move to the second tip for you, and that is, someone has told me about it, and that was to share a story. So psychologists say that stories connect well. The moment you say, once this happened to me, we immediately get hooked. We are very empathetic. We are very human. We like to see what was the personal experience on this particular topic. So the method is usually storytelling, and as usual, as every story goes, you first start with, where the situation is. You talk about the character, you bring in the climax, and then you do the summarize again, that how that whole thing happened. For example, you start with the setting of what was happening. So if I talk about, tell us about a time you faced a challenge and how did you overcome it? Okay, so tell us about a time when you faced a challenge and how you overcame it. So the answer could be start with a setting, what was happening, share the conflict or challenge, that what the challenge was, how did you fix it for yourself, what was wrong, what was difficult, and concluded that what was the lesson that you have learned. So let me throw another question, which is, how do you stay motivated? So again, how do you stay motivated is not opinion-based. It is something which is asking for reflection and a personal experience. So you could always say, a few years ago, and this is what you can start with. If you want to repeat the topic, it's absolutely fine. But when you take those first 10 seconds to think, you can always, when you connect yourself with some motivation, you can say, a few years ago, I hit a rough patch in my career. And I remember my mentor telling me to focus on small wins. So I started setting tiny goals for myself every day. Slowly but surely, those small wins built up my confidence, and I have followed that practice ever since. Now, in this, you can also bring in some incident that you had with your mentor. And now I'm going to share my personal tip that I do around storytelling. And this is what I practiced in my very first year. I took up a notebook and I drew a line in the middle, slightly towards left, not exactly in the middle. And on one side, I wrote top 50 incidents of my life, whatever I remember as a story. So I wrote my first remembered memory, my first swing, my first roller skate, my first bicycle ride. So all of these things I was writing, and next to them, the second column, I wrote emotions. So my first bicycle ride, I wrote next to it, fear, scared. And then further, I wrote accomplishment. And then my first roller skate, I wrote hurt, bruised, achieved. So I wrote feelings next to all of them. My first day in the school, scary, lonely. And then I would write about my first day in the university, excited, friendly, confused. So I would write all of these things. My first win, my first award, proud, champion, motivated. Then take it to next level. Your marriage, you can put fear, excitement, whatever that day was. You can put your first day you held your child, proud, emotional, cried, happiness, tears of happiness. So put emotions, situations, and before that, put the story. And you can always start by writing 10 stories per day. 10 stories, topics you write, and think about what happened. And while you're writing, you're going to relive those situations. And when you get the topic, that when did you share an incident where you were most happy? So you would remember that list, and the places where happiness was written, you will pick up one of them. Share a childhood memory that's on top of your mind. Share the first day of your university. What did you accomplish when you were a teenager? Something of that sort you can write down as a story, and it connects well. So the previous one that we attempted, which was what keeps you motivated, it came because somewhere you wrote about a mentor you wrote about a teacher, and you wrote motivated next to it. So it helps you connect to the topic when you get it. So if you practice, and I would say if 50 is too challenging for you, make it half, make it 25. If that is too challenging for you, make it 15. But try to see that all the emotions that we usually have in emotional intelligence, at least one topic is there that has those emotions. Confusion, fear, motivated, excited, proud, weakened, crying, something of that sort, so that when the topic is given to you, you feel connected. And by writing it down, I would repeat again and again, it helps you practice. So whenever the table topics contest is happening, or you're something which is exciting, you want to go and participate, just go through that list once, while you're on the way driving, or, record yourself, listen to that list, or just have a look at that list of all the incidents, and slightly for 2 minutes, just relive those incidents that, it was this topic, it was this topic, my first day of school, my first day. I was asked in my area contest, I was asked that, where did you feel most emotional in last 10 years? And I talked about the time when my father bought for me skates. Oh, sorry, at the age around 10 years. So I talked about the time when my father bought me skates when he did not have a job. And I saw him negotiating with the shopkeeper over 10 dirhams. And I cannot forget that he wanted to buy that for me. And because my father was having trouble around jobs, so he wanted to save as much as money. So I remember that so much, and that has impacted me in life in taking decisions. I shared that. So I shared with, and we entered a shop and my father was standing there. I remember trying out these skates. So the storytelling went on, and then how did I implement that in my adulthood, that I would still today do that as a parent, that for myself, I would negotiate, I would try to get cheaper things, but for my kids, I would go along buying the best that is possible. And this is what parenthood is. So my speech of 10 years was emotional, had a personal story. It had a repetition of story that what happened when I was a child. And I would do that similar when I'm an adult. And I would close by saying that that how love is more than things. And that's the memory of my 10 years old. So a story connects, it makes people relive their own story. And that happens, it can happen naturally. You could be very talented, but as we all want to learn a skill, we would prefer to do that by practicing it and writing it. Now I'm going to do the activity again, and I'm going to give you some examples, by the way. Some of the examples of storytelling topics are: describe your proudest accomplishment. What's the most important lesson you have learned in life? Tell us about your favorite memory. So now I'm going to ask you to write down quickly the story, and you can use prep, but this one is not opinion related, so prep would be difficult. Here you will start by setting the tone, what was happening, the conflict or the challenge, and then in the end, the resolution or the lesson. So the topic for you is: describe a time when you overcame a challenge. Describe a time when you overcame a challenge. I'm going to give you 1 minute now because it's a very fast group. I was very proud of your timings. Describe a time when you overcame a challenge. Remember, set a tone. Share the challenge or the conflict. And in the end, the resolution, the message, the lesson, the inspiration. Describe a time when you overcame a challenge. Raise your hand once you're done. Thank you, ma'am. Timer. Describe a time when you overcame a challenge. Great. Let me look for 2 more hands. Describe a time when you overcame challenge. Wonderful. All right. We are at 1:30 minutes. I wanted to see more hands. Great. So can I request Toastmaster Mita? Toastmaster Mita. Yes, Mita Shah. Share quickly what your story would be. Describe a time when you overcame challenge.
Challenges are every moment. When I challenged myself in 2012, after 2 decades plus, I went back to the college and did my master's. That was a great challenge. Though I was very old, like reading and attending library. But this was a challenge when I had to sit with the juniors, with today's generation and study. And that was also with laptop and with the thing, without library. Everything was different. I was seeing the difference between that term and this term. So that was a great challenge. And I overcome because I saw with them and learned how to change myself with the new trend, starting with typing and going with the computer and laptop, and then started slowly to learn how to create the PPT as well as how to take this challenge overcome. And I just reached to that and I scored fourth in the university. That was my challenge and I accepted and I got it done. So
wonderful. So we see, thank you, madam. So we see that she brought in her episode of going back to the university. But if I may, Toastmaster Mita, slightly rephrase it. So imagine I got the topic, describe a time when you overcame a challenge. Challenges are everywhere, just like how you started. Challenges are everywhere and life is full of challenge. My story of challenge is entering in a classroom full of beautiful faces, young minds. And me, 20 years later, I entered a classroom. So I was in my 40s. My challenge, and then you explain your challenge, what your conflict was, how you overcame it. So just the beginning to make it up like a movie scene. So while you take that moment, and I like the way how she brought challenges are everywhere. So, you take those few moments to fill up how to start, because when you say something which is coming out natural and philosophical in the beginning, you take those couple of seconds to say that, how do I picture this? Picture this kind of a thing. So imagine me entering a classroom and then building up that story. And rest of it was very beautiful. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mita, for trying that out. I'm going to go for someone new. So Toastmaster Akshata, could you share yours?
Sure. So my starting was also life is filled with full of challenges, and then I connected it to a story of my childhood where I wanted to participate in a singing competition, and where my brother was in the same school, and he used to participate in the competition. He used to always come first. So as I was very younger to him, he was very scared that he'll ruin my reputation if he'll, not sing well. So what he did was, I had a cassette of Backstreet Boys in my house, and I used to listen to those songs. And I really liked one song which I was going to present it in the competition. When he found that, he just took the I Want in That Way.
Okay. All right, great.
Backstreet
And
Boys,
then,
yeah.
if you could go quickly,
Yeah. He just a day before he just he hid the cassette of that particular song. What I did was I so much wanted to participate in the competition that I had just the lyrics of the song, and I practiced it so much the whole night that the next day in the competition I stood first in the in front of my class, and that was the proud moment. That was a challenge which I faced, and then I overcame it. And when you have that great desire, you also find a way, and then this is what I wanted to share.
Very nice. So in the end, you even brought another philosophy of desiring and challenge and overcoming it. If I could give you a tip, Toastmaster Ashata. So when you were designing this in your mind, you knew the song. And the different thing that you can do is that when you were putting up all that plot, and you said there was a Backstreet Boys song that I wanted to do, my brother, he hid it. And then I was so confused, but then I took up the paper in the night and I was practicing it. And I practiced. And the next day, I was on the stage and they said that, where is your song? And I said, you are my fire, the one desire, believe. And I was believing that I'm doing my best. And guess what? I won. So, you bring up all that. And then in the end, you try to find a chance if you can share a poetry, you can share a song, you can share a very famous dialogue from a movie. Try to look for that chance. Because while you're making it up, and remember the incidents you wrote and the prep when you do, it will prepare you to go out of the box. And the idea is not to fulfill the question with an ideal answer. The idea is to fulfill the table topic with the unique type of answer. So, you have to stand out. So if everybody's going to attempt it in the same way, who is going to win? The one who's going to do it in a unique way. So sing a song. So your story had that. And write down, by the way, the story should be in your list. It's a beautiful story. And I wish you all the best for that. I will quickly take Toastmaster Diana because she has raised her hand even last time. Toastmaster Diana, very quickly, because I have to go on to my last point. Toastmaster Diana, you're here?
DTM Iram, she writes in the chat box for us.
Oh, she writes.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that
great.
is what she's
Thank you.
referring to.
So she said, read loud. Okay, so let me read out her response. This Toastmasters published speech with powerful insight, his ability to challenge strong in my life on the stage. I feel so proud of award from Toastmasters Club. I practice so hard, speak in front of audience only. Thank you so much. I love the way how you have written that and you have shared your personal story. However, I would again say practice writing it in the form of a story and probably write down a quote, something, a quotation, or, put some columns that, you're trying to say a dialogue in the middle, just to, anyways, you're standing out. You're standing out, by the way. So you're going to further stand out with this. So beautifully done. Thank you so much. Read, done. I got your message. Thank you so much. I get excited to lose the chat, by the way, because I'm too focused on the audience faces. So thank you so much for the 3 contributions. And I'm going to run to my last point, which is music happens between the notes. I'm referring to pauses. Pauses are important. The moment you get your topic, do not move. Do not move. Now, that does not mean that people would start guessing the world has stopped. The point is, don't move your hand. Don't say, okay, none of these things. When you get the topic, you just move your head from the contest chair towards the audience, give a smile, and technically you have 10 seconds. And after 10 seconds, the timer starts from 1. If this is not being practiced, then this is an information. Anybody who ever gets the role of timer in this is an information for you. You do not start timings when the topic is given. You start timings if the speaker says something verbally or moves their hand to say something, like about to move their hand. Okay, something like that. So ideally, whenever you get a topic, if you're standing in this way, you got the topic. And of course, you look at the contest chair to understand the topic better. So look at the contest chair, look in front, take a breath and just wait. Do not move hands and then suddenly go ahead with your topic. So the moment you do your first movement, that is the place where your timer starts. And by the way, even if you do not speak for 12 seconds, the timer will automatically start from 10. So it's all right if you take 1 or 2 seconds more. Remember, the judges have got nothing to do with your timings. The judges are focused on the way you attempt. This does not mean that you go until 30 seconds, for God's sake. It's just the first 10 seconds that, DTM Mirabrazzi said we can think and talk. Don't put it up on me. So it's not like that. It's just the first 10 seconds to, gather your thoughts and get an idea. And there are questions that you can put them in the pause bracket. The question that could be, what would you do if you won $1 million? I would take a pause. If I won $1 million, I would invest it in education for underprivileged children. Because giving them access to education can truly change the world, and go on with it. So you take those few places of pauses to articulate your answer, because these are the questions that need explanation. They're hypothetical questions, most of them. What the world would be if it didn't have, if what the world would be with the female presidents everywhere. You know, something of that sort. If you were the leader of the country, what would be your first priority? So repeat the question, take the moments in the beginning, repeat the question, and then try answering it in the way that you take pauses in the middle to get the idea. When your idea is on the place, then you go on like prep. Then you go on the way how prep is done and storytelling is done. In fact, you can also bring in a story that I want to do this because I remember a story that I read in my childhood, and then you can connect to it. So I'm going to give you an activity, but you're going to do it on your own later. The question for you to do on the explanation and pause method is, what will the world look like in next 20 years? What would the world look like in next 20 years? So let me do it with you. What would the world look like in next 20 years? In next 20 years, I'm going to be in my 50s. I'm saying that. In my 50s, which means technology is going to be high. There are going to be robots everywhere. When I will be placing an order for pizza, the AI is going to say, "Madam, you have cholesterol. Are you serious?" And then when I'm going to say, "It's all right, put it up on my tab, madam, your credit card has been exceeded." By the way, you can do an AI voice on it, right? Take that as a story, keep putting your thoughts. You can shift from pizza to credit card. You can say, when I go to the gym and I was about to go on the treadmill for 10 minutes, the treadmill would speak to me, "Hello, you are supposed to do 45 minutes at least." So, you know, take it one by one. Pauses, a slow situation sharing, and then in the end, the world is going to be scary after 20 years. I just wish AI doesn't take over completely, and close it with your opinion. So the best thing about these topics is that you can even change it. You can talk about AI, and you can also talk about aliens coming in the same bracket of time. So, you know, while AI is doing this, maybe there are also going to be aliens, because they would show up that we were the reason behind AI. So these are the best type of questions that you can get, where you actually have pauses and share stories and build up these situations in your mind. And these are usually hypothetical questions. So all in all, dear fellow Toastmasters of Gabbys, number one, prep. Point, reason, explain, point. That's your first step. Number two, storytelling. Have your 50, 40, 30 or minimum 25 stories written. Next to that, write the emotions related to those stories. Number three, pauses. Take pauses, have a slow tone, and keep building up the story around the hypothetical question. I hope it really helps. And I'm now opening the floor for Q&A, and I want the timer, Toastmaster Jaspreet, to give me a shout of how much time do we left for Q&A, and help me control so we stay on time.
Sure, DTM Aram, you are well within the time, right? 45 minutes. And now we have 10 minutes for the Q&A.
Great.
So I'll start the timing. Yeah,
You
I'll
can
start the timing.
write down, thank you very much, ma'am. You can write down in the chat how to handle topics like two wrongs can't make one right. By the way, if I would get this topic, I would talk about an incident where someone has done something wrong to you and you did wrong back. So, you know, you have to just, now this is again a storytelling. This one connects very well with storytelling, because it's asking you that how does it do it? The answer of it, if you go ahead saying in philosophical way for a long time, you cannot go ahead for long. See, so if I go with the third type, the pause one, this will not go for too long because you will be out of context. However, if you share an incident where your brother, your friend, your parents, or anybody had done something wrong, and you went ahead doing something wrong in return, someone was bullying you, and the next day you took a revenge from them. So when it reached to your teacher, she said, how can two wrongs make a right? So you have to have an incident for such kind of question. Mostly the questions which have morals, idioms, proverbs, they are linked to storytelling, because morals mean that there is a story where the moral comes down, right? So the next question I have here is, it is difficult to end the story within the time limit. It is. So what you have to do is that when you start a story, by the time you see green, you have to cut off the details, because from green to red is very quick. It's the similar time of how much you did green, right? So this means when the green comes, you have to quickly start wrapping up and move towards the climax. So by the time it is yellow, you're already would be sharing the end of the story and reaching to the moral. So you have to keep an eye on the time. You have to be very specific of that story. So whatever the question was, you should have attempted the answer of it within the green in your story. If you practice this again and again, you will notice that anyways your major message you gave it in green, the yellow is going to be the part where you're, sharing the last part, the message, the lesson, the philosophy, the advice would come in there. And by the time it is red, you're wrapping up. You do a summarize of your 5-6 seconds and close it. Toastmaster Megha, did you have a question? Yes, please.
They are written in the chat box also. But the last time in table topics, I had this problem. What to do when a topic is thrown at you and you're really confused, or you have no clue about the meaning of the topic. So how to take that out?
Oh, that's very sad. Could you give me an example? What was it? Do you have an idea?
It was like barking upon the wrong tree. For the phrase like barking upon the wrong tree, and I was confused, is it the dog barking or is it the bark of the tree, and is it the wrong tree? So I was confused about the topic, so how to take out the topic. And the second question is that when the topic is thrown at you, there are so many, within 5 seconds only, I have so many things popping out. So how to pick out that topic, or how to pick out that thought without panicking, and how to I can stretch upon the topic, but so many things and so many incidents and so many thoughts are popping out. So how, with very little stress or panic, how to take out the topic?
Okay, so answering your first question, barking about around the tree, what I would do is, and imagining that I would have no idea about what this idiom means. First of all, we usually advise table topics master, the presidents, the people who are organizing, they have to not tell table topic master that what topic it has to be. They have to give them a guideline. So this is not very okay, but then again, life is challenged, right? So it's okay that the unfairness actually prepares us to be a better speaker. What I would do is I would start talking about dog barking, and I would talk about there are different kinds of dogs who bark around. There is one in front of my house that is a little chippy, and he said, oh, where I know that he's hungry. Then there is another one that walks around with me when I want to walk in the evening, and it's a German Shepherd, but I'm so glad he's tagged up and he goes rough, rough. And so that I would just throw up things just to participate and leave it on the judges, because I don't know how others are attempting. And by the way, judges are very smart. When they hear the topic, they also have an idea that this topic should have been more universal. So you don't have to worry about this. So what they will see is that how well you attempted with the content, what you understood, how close it was it a part of the topic? And I would say, don't worry about winning. It's all about attempting at your best attempt, that this is the best that I could do, and go ahead with that and be proud of yourself that this is what I have understood. So if I was you, I would start sharing with them the different barks that I hear in a day from the dogs, and in the end I'm going to talk about the biggest dog is the human being, and then how men, so stuff like that I would do. And I have my way of my very dark humor that I use in my table topics. Your second part was that what to do when you get all those thoughts. Remember when I said that we get 450 to 500 words in our minds. So that's not very easy to tame them down. So if you're taming them, trust me, you're doing a big thing. And it's not easy to do that. I still face it. I face it on the contest day that, I go through that. I need to calm myself down. And as I said, you need to find your coping mechanism. So by the time you get the topic, please make sure, find your ace, find the thing that calms you down. It could be having a cup of green tea 10 minutes ago, or, just a while before the table topics contest happens, just go for a slight round, go to the washroom, speak in front of the mirror with yourself, find some, even chewing gum at times, calms you down. That, I need to relax. So you need to find that mechanism. And when a lot of thoughts are coming in your mind, all you need to do is practice. When you write down those preps and stories and all, you will see that you will be able to slow down those thoughts because you will be more focused on hearing the topic clearly. I would be worried when you say that going blank. When I heard the topic, I went blank. So that's anxiety and nervousness. But having lots of thoughts is good. This means you have stuff, you have things which are connecting, you just don't know where to go, where to find. You will get that with practice. And if you are planning to do it in this season, it's coming very soon, get online and as many clubs as possible in Turkey, in India, in Pakistan, in Dubai, everywhere, and try to send a message that, can I be please call for table topics? Go in front of new audience and record yourself separately with your phone. So when you're attempting, record yourself and see how did you perform and write notes that how did I behave when I got a storytelling question, where I got an opinion related question, where I got a hypothetical question. You built up yourself. This is your project. You spend a lifetime on a job, working on a research, on a project where it's not even going to be with you for the rest of your life. You are yourself the biggest project that you should know your SWOT analysis and deep analysis and everything. So work on yourself and you will still be surprising yourself, by the way. So try the best attempt of as much as you can understand how you can handle your nervousness. I hope I've answered both your questions, Toastmaster Megha. So I have got another question here by Toastmaster Jaya. I got it. It's how to answer a blind leads, blind gets away with it. How to add humor, how to get thoughts quickly in mind. It is not easy when a brain is slow. So your question was a blind leads, blind gets away. Is that your topic? Toastmaster Jaya, you can have your audio on. That would really help.
A very good evening. Yes, last week on Saturday, I was given this topic, and a topic like this or a philosophical topic is very difficult for me, and to get those quickly in mind is not been easy at all. So that's why I keep hopping to different clubs for practice, and even how do we add humor? You already gave tips for storytelling. Thank you for that. And yeah, this is my also drawback, which I'm trying hard.
Okay, so thank you, Toastmaster Jaya, for that question. So humor comes with practice and confidence, by the way. And I'll tell you, humor comes when you take it light, when you don't take stress. I remember the one humorous topic in that division contest was, and the question was as simple as, what does happiness mean to you? And the problem was, I was expecting that it is a division level, district 105 in Emirates Auditorium. My question is going to be something so technical and philosophical. It was as simple as, what does happiness mean to you? And I messed it up. I don't know that I remember the things I spoke. I'm never going to repeat them. I'm going to have a speech on it, but I messed it up. But the person who won talked about, I don't know since last 15 years, what does happiness mean to me? And then he built it up and he came to the point that that's because he's married. So happiness means his wife is happy, so he's happy. There is no such thing as his own happiness. And it was humorous. So then when he built that up, he brought in some incidents that, she's happy and stuff like that. So the thing is that if you get such questions, pick up one part of it. As I said before, pick up one part of it and go ahead attempting it. And you are doing amazing, Toastmaster Jaya, by going to the different clubs, because when you do this and you get these difficult questions, this is when you open up, right? So you keep attempting. I would hope and pray that you get difficult questions when you're going for your practices, so that it really opens up. The challenge should be big, because if it is very simple, then you will be just in your nutshell, right? But when you go on the table topics on the contest, by the way, in contests, usually they are not that tricky questions. They go through a lot of screenings. The chief judge is usually asked, and they are given guideline. So they will be something hopefully universal. But it's very nice if you're getting topics which are tough like these, philosophical. All you need to do, if you do not understand them, give it a shot by picking up a part of the question and say that I have no idea what this philosophy means, but with your question, guess what I thought of? The blind person that I see every day in the morning when I'm passing by to my office, and that beautiful smile, and start talking about something that you watched in a video, you watched somewhere which was motivational. So if you can't get the topic, you could just say that, I don't know about being blind, but then this has really reminded me of something that I watch every single morning. The old man that stands in the end of my street, smiling, holding up a cup, something of that sort. So that will, an incident, a story of this sort, and then you ended up sharing a message of how lucky you are to have your eyes. You're so lucky to have your ears, and how lucky we are to, and how we take our organs and our eyes and everything for granted. Probably cut it down in that way. Is there a way to cut down filler words? Yes, by bringing pauses. Pauses are the best things to cut down your words. The moment you feel like saying, okay, so instead of this, just take a pause and bring in the next word. How to deal philosophical question image based. So I have answered this question in a couple of times right now, that, pick up one thing and then connect to something which is closest to that. Example, I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. So this is very philosophical. So in this, you can talk about, let's not talk about what will make them think. You can talk about, I cannot teach anyone anything by talking. I can do it by doing. So we learn by doing, and you can come to the Toastmasters philosophy, come around, how Toastmasters tell you that it is not just something that each one of us can teach, but the way how we go through our outline and programs and everything, it makes us think to become a better speaker. So I would do that. I would get into the program of Toastmasters if I get this kind of question. Is there another question around? Let me see. Did I miss anything?
Can we take later, like it's time up?
Yes. So if you have any questions, I would actually ask Toastmaster Jaspreet Kaur to send it across to me by WhatsApp. And what I would do is, for you, I would record the answer and send it back. So I'll collectively take that and put it up on a private link, and you can have a look at it, because it's better to be explained such trainings in words rather than just writing, because I can write by putting it in ChatGPT. So that's me challenging myself. So thank you so much for the opportunity. It's always a learning two-way. Trust me, when we are teaching, we are learning, we are reminding ourselves. The questions that come up are challenge to me too. So I'm very excited, and I'm very happy that I played a role today, and I hope it brings in some kind of value to you. If you are looking for any more detail, please let Toastmaster Jaspreet know. She's very closely connected, and I would love to help out further. Over to you, TMOD, for the day.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful speech. Let's give a huge round of applause to our DTM. What a wonderful thing. We got a lot of things knowing lot of things to learn about from you as a table topic. It was a wonderful session, and I hope all the members has really enjoyed and they learned a lot of things. And thank you for giving us a lot of learnings. Now we have a result for the speaker. The best speaker for the today is Toastmaster S Mohanty, and the best evaluator is Toastmaster Punith C K. So let's give a huge round of applause for both of them. Now we have like let's meet. Thank you for all the speakers, as well as the guest speakers, and the evaluators, as well as the guest evaluator. Thank you for all your hard work and giving us a lot of learnings. Now, thank you for all the guests who came and attended these education sessions and today's meeting. Thank you for guests and keep joining our club meeting. And next, we'll all see you all on Saturday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon in hybrid meeting at 91 Springboard near Vivekananda Metro Station, next to CV Raman Hospital, Indiranagar. By this, I call to adjourn today's meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you. Take care and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much, DJ Medhavi. Thank you so much.